you know. This one is called The Marrow of Longing, and I wrote it this past April. My mother was born in Armenia, and it was the 100th anniversary of the Armenian genocide. So I did this poem in honor of that. The marrow of longing. Longing resides in the marrow, an ache for a land I do not know, terrain inside the cavities of my chest, asking to be made familiar with the territory of a place where one knows belonging. She spoke of a land she never knew, over and over again. I heard the tales of leaving when 1 or 2 years old in genocide, as if time had passed and she was 10 or 20. Longing for a land was bred in my mother. Perhaps her parents ached for the Armenia they left, and even the beauty of Cambridge, Massachusetts could not equal what was in their cells. The body has a way of knowing roots, place of viscera, soles of feet are souls, knowing where earth has raised them. I am a child raised between land and sea. Borders between is where I find home. An ache is still reaching inside to find the earth in my body in the earth. Longing is the passage. It is not to be fixed, but to recognize what is always present on the inside. So a lot of my poetry is kind of scattered in all of, since I'm also an academic, I try to sneak poetry into every journal and chapter I write. So it's in a lot of all these books of essays. I'm going to read you this one poem from a book called A Heart of Wisdom. Life Writing is Empathetic Inquiry. And this chapter is called Yarn Notes from a Wild Woman Who Loves to Knit. And this poem is called Laundry Sins. Laundry sins. It's the burgundy red lipstick that sneaks out of the pocket of my jeans, announces its presence in my washing machine, and spreads red accents all over the other clothes. Clean they will be, but anointed with shades of crimson, strawberry smears. This isn't just a one-time event. It's in the category of multiples. Like orgasms and intelligences, they come in numbers, and this is just the beginning of laundry sins. They say teenagers don't do laundry, but all one has to do is commit a laundry sin, and the style-conscious take notice and become initiators of laundry. And I've opened up a whole space for kids doing chores, all out of default. And my red lipstick is still hanging out in all the places it shouldn't, but even lips have a hankering for laundry. And now I see that really, if you want your kids to do laundry, is that you just take red lipstick, you put it in the washing machine. They will never let you do laundry again. And my 3 sons never did laundry again. I mean, I never did laundry for my 3 sons, and I'm still recovering from raising 3 sons. Yes. Okay, so it's, you know, I don't know if you know that anytime you write something from way back, it becomes very nostalgic. And I still am a single parent of 3 boys, but now they're men. They were man boys, now they're men. And I was just finishing up a chapter called Tales of Survival from a Mother on the Edge, and I was rewriting what I was writing a long time ago when I was in the thick of it, and now it seems so romantic, you know, and because I'm missing all their voices and all the teenagers in my house, but it wasn't that romantic in the midst of it. So anyways, this poem is part of this chapter called Listening to Love. Delight of multiplicities, where 2 voices become 5, and math is an exercise in joy. A team of 2 can shake worlds, move furniture and hearts with 20 fingers and 4 eyes. You, my twins, have always been shining stars, individual and collective, working in a trio with your brother, who glowed with you in the earth and sky. You each lived in galaxies, a constellation of surprise poured through our lives in unfolding awe. I may have birthed you, but you have birthed me. Opened the place for wonder, a love unequaled in this journey. Multiples were not only twins. Multiples were all of you, Micah, Caleb, and Lucas, a force unto your own. December called you to be born 3 days from one another, and I still bear the miracle of being your mom, and you have been my mentor in listening to love. So that was part of a book on twins, and now I realize that I'm talking about all kinds of things that is not really children-friendly, but oh well, you know, I'm always getting in trouble. What else is new? Okay. So, and I'm also going to read the great love story. Janet wants me to read it, so I'm going to read it. It was in the, what was it in? It was a contest or something.
Our class right-on contest.
Right.
Poetry, honorable mention.
Honorable mention, yeah. There you go. The great love story. Okay. Art is a faithful lover, wooing you back each time, the mistletoe of life, begging for a kiss, calling for your attention. Art always waits to be caressed, loved into being. Imagination is the foreplay. Union with the creative force asks no more than this. Make me, play with me. Put my skin on, dwell in my terrain. A playground for the body and soul, fingers and hips, words and notes. Taste the juices of creation. Let go of any expectations where I will take you, and prance with abandon. I can be trusted and will not disappoint. Always wait for you as a patient lover, seeking to be born over and over again through your flesh and your cells and your tissues. You never know what I will bring and when the surprises of disruption and birth will be announced in your life. This is not a clean, straightforward path, but a spiral geography, turning from one curve to another, radical spurts of joy spiced with tears that moisten the raw canvas of creating. So take your pen and paintbrush, hands, feet, voice, and belly, and let me slow dance with you to form the visible, the audible, from the invisible. And know this, art making is the great love story.